Imagine if there was a tool that allowed you to target buyers who actually have good credit, who are looking to buy a home, and who are in your market looking for a home exactly in the area that you want, all without wasting advertising dollars on people who don't qualify, who aren't interested in buying a home. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to target buyers in your market. Run Facebook ads. We're going to utilize the special ad category, but I'm going to show you a workaround, and I'm going to show you the exact ads that you can use, the copy, the headline, the images, everything. So I'm going to jump into my computer and walk you through this step by step. Click on create up here in the top left. Once we click create, we're going to choose a campaign objective. So we typically do one of 3 or 4 things here. Most likely, we're going to utilize lead generation. If you're brand new to Facebook ads, this is the easiest by far. Lead generation on Facebook is essentially a lead form or a form still on Facebook that somebody can click the ad, they see the form, they fill out their information, and then that becomes a lead for you. It's by far the easiest. The second would be conversions. Conversions allows us to send people to a website. So if you have a really good website with maybe a really good IDX feed or landing page or something like that, we can send them there, and then we optimize for conversions. What that means is we want leads, right? And we want Facebook to know that we want leads so that Facebook shows our ad to people who are more likely to become a lead of the type of lead we want. So we want more buyers, right? So we want Facebook to show our ads to people who are looking to buy and who are most likely to become a lead or a conversion, right? The next would be traffic. Maybe you have a good website, you have a good IDX website, but you might not have the best, right? It's not going to tell Facebook that it's become a lead or a conversion, and that might not be the case. So we just send traffic to that landing page or that website, right? And then the last would be potentially messages, but this would require some sort of messenger bot typically, or it would require you to be on your phone making sure you're looking at messages and following up as soon as humanly possible. So I just recommend doing lead generation. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to come in here and click through and talk about what we're going to name our campaign. So our campaign's name is typically going to be what we're going to be after, right? So this is buyer lead campaign, so we're going to call it buyer leads. And there are a couple different campaigns that we utilize, right? So it'd be maybe a list of homes under a certain price range, or a list of cul-de-sac homes, or a list of homes with a pool, or it could be, for mortgage, it could be something specific as 3% down, or maybe an FHA loan, or any of those types of loans. Maybe it's VA or whatever that looks like, right? For this, we're going to choose a list of homes under, let's call it 450. Okay, and typically I would call it the area as well, so it'd be like Plano. And then what I do is I call it lead forms, and then whatever the date would be, right? And then we're just going to kind of copy and paste some of these things like this. And then we're going to say the area, and we're going to call this Cole, because that's what we're going to grab. I'll show you that tool in a second. And then we're going to stick with the date. Right, and then this would be list of Plano homes under 450K, again with that. So we're going to click on continue here. And then we're going to go in to the campaign level. So we have to declare special ad category, right? Regardless of if you're going to utilize the targeting or not, you have to choose housing if you're doing a real estate or mortgage related ad. From there, we're just going to click on next and go into our ad set. Typically here, we would choose our targeting. We're actually going to bypass Facebook's targeting and not even mess with it, right? So typically you would come down here to the audience, you would go through and say, I want to target Plano or Indianapolis or whatever your area is, and you would target that area within a 15-mile radius, right? Instead of doing that, we're going to go and grab a list from a awesome tool and company called Cole Information. So what this allows you to do is, say you have a renter for a specific zip code, and we can go through and search for these. So I'm going to go grab all of these zip codes. So you can do up to 10. I'm going to grab the zip code here, and you can do house renters, you can do apartment renters, or you can do condo renters. We're going to do house renters because that's probably somebody who most likely wants to get out of the house and wants to actually own their house. They clearly can afford the monthly rent. So they clearly then can afford the monthly mortgage. Over here, you can see a list of all records. You can do emailing. So that's email addresses. You can do phone numbers. I would recommend doing either emails or phone numbers so that we can add that list into Facebook. So we're going to click on search here and get the results. So now that we have the results, we can kind of come in here and look and see what that looks like, right? So we've got the phone numbers here. We've got all of the email addresses. So because we have, I specified 4 email addresses, we can also get the phone number. But you can see we have all email addresses and just some phone numbers. And you can see their house number, exactly where they live. So if you wanted to do direct mail alongside this, you absolutely could. You can see the length of residency over here. And what you can do is you just come down here and download that. But there's another really cool option here. You can do advanced options and look at some of the more detailed targeting that we can look at here. So you come over here on the left-hand side, you can see all sorts of things. You can see like they're interested in baseball or basketball or some random stuff like that. So potentially if you had a house on a golf course that you were looking to sell, or you wanted to do a list of golf course homes, you could come and find golf and you could target based around golf, right? Or maybe people are interested in gardening and you have really nice houses in gardening or whatever that might look like, right? There are some really cool options here. And you can even go as granular as, some income level investments. So you can do income, you can do investments, maybe they're doing mutual funds or stocks or whatever, right? You can kind of get really, really specific on who you want to target based on what's available here on the interest side of things. So you can get really, really specific about who your ideal client and your ideal client avatar is. And then you just hit submit. And then what you'll do is you'll come and click on download. And then you will download that. So first of all, you'll want to do CSV file. So once you click on this on the left-hand side, you'll click on CSV because that will be what you'll need to upload into Facebook. All right, so now that you have your list from Cole Info, what you're going to do is you're going to want to upload that to your Facebook audience, right? So you're going to have custom audiences here you can see. You might already have those in there. So if you want to, you can go and search for those existing audiences. But you can also create a new audience based on the list that you just downloaded. So we're going to click on Create New here, click on Custom Audience. From here, we're going to click on Customer List and click on Next. Okay, don't have to worry about this. Click on Next, say No here, click on Next, and then we're going to upload our file. So you're going to go and click on Upload, go find the file that you want to download, and then we're going to upload that file. From here, you're going to call it something very specific to the list that you created on Cole Info, right? So say you have a list that's in a very specific city that has, let's go with the golf interest, right? You have the golf interest, and then you might have income or another variable, right? So you would say Plano house renters, right? Plano house renters, golf income, something like that, that you know what you have identified in that audience. And then we're going to click on next here. From here, Facebook does a really good job of mapping out some of those things, but what you'll want to do is come in here to action needed and find some other information. So it could be first name, last name, the city they're in, the county they're in, whatever that looks like, and click on import. And you can click on these, right? So you can click on these. This is first name, match that, last name, match that, city, match that, so on and so forth. Once you have that, click on import and create. And this upload will take a second. The bigger your list, the more time it will take. So it might take a second. Just be patient with it. But once it's done, click on done. And then you'll have your customer list here, right? So that is your targeting, right? So if you've got a huge list, maybe you created a couple lists of 1,500 from Colinfo. I believe, by the way, that is their limit. So 1,500 is their limit. I usually go through, I live in a pretty big area, so I'll go through and have a bunch. But some of our clients are super small areas and they don't get that many, so you just need one list. But I'll combine up to 10 lists sometimes. So we'll have about 15,000. Typically, I honestly have a VA do that, so I'm not sitting there copying, pasting, and putting it into one file. So that is a piece of information that you'll want to know. I do go and upload a bunch of those and then download those to Excel, create a CSV that kind of combines all of those. From here, what you'll want to do is scroll back up and make sure that you have your date, your budget, all of that stuff. I usually recommend starting at minimum $5 to $10, depending on how big your audience size is, right? If you just uploaded a list of 200 people, you're not going to, Facebook won't even get to spend $10 a day for you there. But if your list is 15,000, I recommend starting right around $10 a day. Okay. From here, we're going to click on manual placements and click on just Facebook and Instagram. And then we're going to go down here and just choose these three: Facebook feed, Instagram feed, Facebook marketplace. And we're going to take out everything else. Okay, click all of these off so that you just have these three. Okay, scroll down here and you'll click on next. All right, so this is the ad level. This is where we are going to create our ads. So you want to make sure that your Facebook page is the page that you want to run ads from. If you have a linked Instagram account, you want to do that. I typically just do the page because I don't do Instagram all that much. And then what you'll want to do is go and create your ad. So for this, let's go with the golfing scenario, right? So let's say you have a list of people who are interested in golf. What image do you think would convert really well with somebody who's interested in golf, right? So you could go find an image that is some home on a golf course, or it could be just golf itself, right? So now that we have our image here, we can go and click on next. And by the way, if you ever need free images, go to Pixabay, and just search for whatever you're looking for. I literally just typed in golf, found this picture, click free download, and bam, free. But you can do anything, right? You can do house, click enter, and you can get all sorts of different images totally and completely for free. So highly recommend that. Back to our ad here. We're going to click on next after we have our image. We're going to do 1-to-1. That basically just creates the most amount of space for us. If you just do original, it'll get it shorter, right? You can see how much space you're losing out on in the feed. And it's important in Facebook to create as much space in the feed as possible. We're going to click on done here, and that is our image, right? I'm going to go and grab our Facebook copy and come back here and copy and paste it in. So I'm going to go grab these. So these are our Facebook ad templates, totally free if you want these, this exact thing. I got it in the description below. We'll send that over to you via Facebook Messenger. So you've got list of homes. I would go and grab this and just copy and paste this in here. copy, and we're going to come back to our ad. We're going to click on paste. All right, so for this, we're going to say, hey, Plano residents, do you know anybody looking to buy a home? Follow here. We don't need that because we don't have a link. What we would say is click learn more to grab a list of homes under, we'll say 450. We're going to say homes on a golf course. Homes on a golf course under 450. Now, I don't know that that's necessarily possible in today's market, but we're going to run with it. So we're going to click headline and say golf homes under 450. And we're going to say Plano. All right, under here, we've got the instant forms. So you can see what that looks like here. We're just going to duplicate this and create. So this is just a copy. So you'd say Plano golf homes under 450K. I always go for more volume. If you want higher intent, they're basically going to ask a question and say, are you sure that's your information? So it's just one more step. So I usually do that. We don't usually include an intro. Get access to Plano homes on a golf course under X. Okay. We usually do first name, last name, email, phone number in that exact order. Okay, sometimes most of the time, Facebook will auto-populate that. And if they don't see their phone number, they might not even look for it and change it or whatever. And so it's just an easy way for us to get accurate information. All right, make sure you have your privacy policy in here, and then you'll click on publish. And that is your buyer ad. So that's exactly how to utilize Facebook ads for buyer leads, both for real estate and for mortgage professionals. If you guys want the information on Cole information, I've got a link in the description below. Also, if you want the Facebook ad templates, I've got that in the description below. Those are totally free, nothing to sell you there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your colleagues. If you utilize this strategy, please come back and comment on this video. Share your success. Have any questions, comment down below. I'd love to help you there as well. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.